Hello, I'm Vegas Vic, and this video is about these. These are face masks and all the various rules and regulations that have been dictated to us by our governor here in Nevada and other governors and state officials throughout the United States. Now, before anybody starts accusing me of anything, I am not opposed to wearing of these masks or the science behind it. What I am opposed to is our governor dictating that we must have them. Not only that, our governor here in Nevada and other governors throughout the United States have been dictating to their citizens about what they must do and what they cannot do and so forth. As far as I know, this is still a democracy and not a dictatorship. This means that our governor and your governor in your state or your mayor or county commissioner or whoever it is that's making these dictates does not have the right to do that to you. This is still a democracy and not a dictatorship. And that means that the role of the government is to provide information, to advise, to allow its citizens to know what the realities are, but the choices are up to the citizens. Here in Nevada, not only has our governor dictated that we must wear these masks, but he has dictated now that we must close the bars. Previously, he has dictated that we must close the casinos. He destroyed the state. Now the state has a $1.2 billion shortfall, and they're cutting education and Medicaid and other services because of it. And it's ridiculous. We are a free people with a free choice. And therefore, it should be up to us whether we choose to wear the masks or not, whether we choose whether we go to work, we choose whether to open our businesses or close them or not. And it is not up to the governor to dictate that we must do so. You see, this is how it starts. When a government starts to take little bits of your freedoms, it just doesn't end. And I would like to tell you about the words from a very famous American by the name of Benjamin Franklin, who said quite eloquently a long time ago, and I quote, "If a free people ever choose to give up even a small portion of their freedom in return for the promise of safety and security, they will not receive, nor do they deserve either one," unquote. And this is very important to know, because so far, all of this stuff that has been dictated to us by our governor and other governors and mayors and county commissioners always starts with, quote, "for your own safety and security," unquote. So for your own safety and security, they tell us that we must give up our choices and our freedoms. This is a blatant violation of the Constitution. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, constitutional rights, the Bill of Rights, the Civil Rights Act, the Americans with Disabilities Act in part. And if you think I'm angry about it, then yes, I am, because this is not right. And as long as we allow the government to do that to us, what's next? I mean, right now the government says you must wear this. It says you must close your business, you must close your bar, you cannot go to work, you must do this, you must do that. When will it end? Well, it doesn't. What's next? Next time the governor is going to decree that for your own safety and security, you can no longer shop at Jewish-owned businesses? Have we not learned anything from history? Do you understand where this is going? I mean, what are we going to do next time that our governor dictates something? Are we going to go and suddenly say, "Heil Sisolak"? I mean, it's ridiculous. Now, I don't hate the governor, and I don't hate anybody else. I'm a Democrat. I mean, but this is not right. The role of the government in a republic is not to be a dictatorship. And as long as you allow that to continue, as long as you allow that to happen, this country is going to descend into a dictatorship. Each individual state will have a dictator and not a governor. And that is also not right. So if you want to preserve America the way that it was intended by the founding fathers in their constitutional government, then you must do something about it. And you must let your governors and your mayors and your county commissioners and the president and everybody else who is in power, including the so-called experts on COVID-19, you must tell them all to go and jump in a lake and shove it, because they don't have the right to dictate to you. You know, the fact is that COVID-19 is a terrible disease, but it's also a fact that 90% of people have no symptoms. And of the remaining 10%, 5% get sick, and of the remaining 5%, only 2% actually die. Now, Is it terrible? Yes, of course it's terrible. So far we've had, I think, 140,000 people die from COVID-19. But every year, 480,000 people die from smoking. So do we shut down the entire country just because somebody lights up a cigarette? Do we throw 40 million Americans out of work and destroy the economy every time somebody lights a cigar or a pipe? It's ridiculous. This whole thing about COVID-19 and dictates for the masks and everything else is nothing but a government overreach and a stab at our constitutional rights, your constitutional rights. And you should not let this happen. So let this be a warning. Let me repeat to you the words of Benjamin Franklin. And I quote, "If a free people ever decide to give up even a small portion of their freedom in return for the promise of safety and security, they will not receive, nor do they deserve, either one." Unquote. So remember these words, because Ben Franklin was a wise man. And if you allow this to continue, if you allow your governor and your government to dictate to you about this, supposedly for the, quote, your own safety and security, unquote, then you're giving up your constitutionally guaranteed freedoms. And it will not end there. It will continue, and it will get worse. And pretty soon, we will no longer have a republic, we will have a dictatorship. And that's all I gotta say. This has been my rant, my opinion and my only, and that's the way it sits. So, for whatever it's worth, I hope you will listen to at least part of it. Thank you. Bye.